Kind of a cool thing we're doing, catching up with one of the best offensive linemen in Boise State football history, the pride of North Pole, Alaska. Daryn Colledge joins us, Prater, and Super Bowl 45 champion. Hey, Colledge, do you know, could you spell that out in numeral, what do they call it, JP?
Roman
numerals. What does that mean, Super Bowl 45? Could you spell it out, Daryn?
XLV, baby.
He did it. Yeah, Super Bowl 40. Was that all right. Thanks, JP. Daryn, welcome back to Idaho Sports Talk, man. You like this time of year around Super Bowl week, having been through the experience?
I think you guys tricked me. I thought we were talking about Max Rice.
No, we're not going to talk about Max Rice. So
Max Rice.
Tyson Degenhart, actually. Tyson Degenhart.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep those guys hyped up. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I love this time of year. I mean, Super Bowl's a special time of the year. You know, whether you believe the NFL is rigging the game or not, whether you believe these are the champions or not, the whole 9 yards. I love the pageantry. I love the game. It's only gotten bigger. It's only gotten crazier. It's gotten to a place where, like, I can't even afford to go to the game. So I'm going to be watching like everybody else with a little barbecue and a beer in my hand in my own house.
What was it like for you getting ready? I mean, ticket requests, who made the cut, I guess, back then, and just getting ready for everything that came with you. Obviously, Super Bowl week, you probably wanted to focus, but you got all the other stuff done the week before. What was that experience like for you, Daryn?
Yeah, total insanity, really. I mean, it was one of those things where it's like, you get a certain allotment of tickets. Most guys in the NFL will get what they call kind of a 12 pick. Well, at least when I played, who knows how it's changed in the last, 14 years since I won the Super Bowl. We got, kind of a 12 ticket package. You got 4 really, really good seats. You kind of got 4 medium level seats. And you got kind of four nosebleeders. And then you kind of went around the room and you started trying to buy tickets off everybody else because everybody got the same alignments. And that included the guys that were walking, the guys that were on practice squads. So you're going around trying to collect tickets, and then a bunch of dudes were actually trying to collect them and then sell them on the secondary market. Like, I'm telling you, like, weird stuff happens around the Super Bowl. But I really kind of focused. All my tickets were on my family. Obviously, my wife, she got the premium tickets and got to bring who she wanted. And then it kind of got down to, like, where were the parents gonna sit? And sadly, in my situation, my parents were divorced at that time. So I'm like, do I need to split these tickets up? I'm like, I don't even think your significant other gets tickets. They're not going to make the cut. So, you kind of pass them through the family and then see where it's at. But it's the players pay the face value on them. It's an expensive add-on. You just have access to the tickets. You're only guaranteed your first 4. You have the right to buy the other 8.
Wow. Daryn Colledge, Super Bowl memories. We're going down Super Bowl memory lane all week long. Daryn, before we dive completely into the Super Bowl, I want to talk a little bit about just the playoffs. And you guys won 3 playoff games to get to the Super Bowl, all on the road. Pretty close games. I know that the divisional game against the Falcons got away from them a little bit and you kind of beat them up. But when you finally beat the Bears and you walked into the locker room and you realize we just won 3 road games and I personally am going to the Super Bowl, what was your thoughts and feelings then?
It was absolutely crazy because it was one of those things where, we were your prototypical playing with house money. We didn't belong, right? We were coming out of that 6 seed. I think at that time only 4 other teams had won out of the 6 seed ever. None had ever won out of the NFC North. Everybody's like, you can't do it. You don't got enough talent. You haven't got the right guys. Aaron's not ready. You're too injured. Charles Woodson had been fighting an injury all year, and we got to play with our backs against the wall. But I think one of the best things for us was we got to go on the road every single game. It's one of those, like, hey, lock the doors. It's us against the world. Go out, beat all these people in their place. And then we put ourselves in a position to have success and have a little bit of luck. The turnover we had against the Bears, the fumble on the sideline, if you watch that again and you see that ball spin, nine times out of 10, that ball goes out of bounds. Clay falls on that ball, gets that turnover, and we turn around and finish that game off. It's just one of those things where it was surreal. And then all of a sudden it was over and we're staring the Super Bowl in the face. And it's like, I can't imagine being in this situation. Like, here I am, some kid from North Pole, Alaska, going through Boise State, and I'm getting ready to put my hand in the dirt and tee off against the Steelers, a team with so much history that I'd grown up watching as a kid.
What about that night before? You're all of a sudden you're in Texas, and it's the game is February 6th, 2011. So let's go back 24 hours. It's Saturday, February 5th. You take care of all your business. The hay is in the barn. You have your final pregame meal, and you got to go check into your room and fall asleep. How did you sleep? How did you handle that night leading up to the Super Bowl?
I would love to tell you, man, I took a couple beers and just passed right out and slept like a baby, but I didn't. I was nervous. You're kind of dealing with all kinds of emotions. You don't know. I didn't realize it, right? I left Boise State winning championships every year. It's what we did. And then when we lost to the Giants in the NFC final, in the NFC championships, I didn't realize how long and how hard it was to get back to that. You don't realize that as an NFL player. Like, it just doesn't happen every year. You're not in that situation every single season, every single year.
Mm-hmm.
And guys know in that night before, you may never, ever be in this opportunity again. I know guys that played 14 years in the league, never made it past one playoff game, never made it past a wild card game. And to be standing there my 5th year with a chance at a championship, I knew it was a rare opportunity. And I can't lie, I was nervous literally up until I put my hand in the dirt and hit somebody on the first play. Like, I was nervous, crazy, nuts emotions, literally until I hit that first guy. And then it was like, okay, football's on. Like, it's just a game, go to work.
Daryn, what do you remember pregame? Daryn Colledge with a Super Bowl 45 champion, Green Bay Packers 2010, Aaron Rodgers, all those receivers, Nelson Jones, Driver, Jennings, like truly a great team. And he's right, house money got hot at the perfect time. What was pregame like as opposed to maybe your typical routine? You probably wanted to have it as close to Monday.
Super challenging. Everything's longer. Everything takes forever. Warm-ups is longer. You've got the extra national anthem. You've got all the extra media stuff. Halftime's got the big show. Like, everything takes longer, and everything is there to knock you off your rhythm. You build yourself into this athlete during the season where, like, hey, I lay my socks out. I start my warm-up at this time. I know, this many minutes before pregame, I go back inside. I get fully dressed. I go back out. We're on the field. You have these things that make football very, very, check the box. And the Super Bowl is not that. Super Bowl is all about being off balance, reacting to the changes, reacting to the extra TV timeouts, having more time during the timeouts to adjust. It's just a whole different concept. And if you've never been there, you're at a disadvantage. And we really looked at the Steelers as like, hey, they had just done this. They had just won this. We know they're in a better position than we are. We're just young and dumb and hungry. So let's go out and, cut it loose. And I pretty much blacked out most of pregame and woke up sometime about the second quarter.
Daryn Colledge,
wow.
The starting left guard, Green Bay Packers 2011 Super Bowl from Dallas, Texas. Let's talk about how you played. I think you went up against Brett Kiesel almost the entire time. Pro Football Focus called it one of the best games of your career. I know it said you only gave up like one pressure. You had that one false start late in the game. I don't think that really made any kind of difference whatsoever. For the most part, you guys you guys started almost every single offensive lineman that entire season. I think 4 of the 5, except for maybe Beluga, maybe missed a couple of games. But you guys were a cohesive unit, and you played well in that game. How did Daryn Colledge play in that game?
I think I hung on with like hope, prayer, and fingernails. Obviously, Brett was extremely talented.
Yeah.
The Fear the Beard campaign was in full swing, and I knew how good he was. I'd played him before. He was an older veteran compared to me, not like crazy old, but a few years ahead of me, and extremely talented. And I knew I was gonna have my hands full the whole game. I knew I was gonna be facing him, 90% of the snaps, and I knew what he was capable of. He was a try-hard guy. Had good length, good strength, and he was savvy. And it was one of those things where it's like I had to be at my best the whole game. The false start, you say it had no impact, but I remember when we made the false start, we needed that drive and we needed that one to kind of help finish off the game. And I had that jump, and I came back in the huddle, and I was like, I've ruined this drive for us. And for one, I was like kind of happy because I was like, well, now everybody knows I played in this game because that false start will remain. They put my name up on the board. All my friends back home know Daryn was in the game, but I was also,
Yeah.
I put us in a long down situation. And I was stressed. And then the next drive, or the next play, Aaron had an amazing, I think he had a hit over the middle to probably Nelson at the time or whoever was running the slant. And we had a huge game for a first down. I swear to God, I turned around, ran up Daryn. I was like, thank you. Because if this falls back on Daryn, I'm going to have some real problems. Because, I was a young guy, trying to be a free agent, and I didn't need all of Green Bay hitting up me on what social media we had.
Yeah, it was your last drive of the game. I think you had a 3-point lead, 28-25. It was 3rd and 5, Daryn Colledge, that false start. So it puts you into a 3rd and 10 on your own 25. And then it was a 31-yard pass to Greg Jennings that got that first down, got you out of the hole. And then you motor down and get that 23-yard field goal from Max Crosby. So that one kind of got you a little bit. You were a little fired up over that penalty.
Oh yeah, it's one of the only things I still remember from that game. Like, I remember the feeling I had when I jumped, and I'm like, there was literally a flash in my mind where I'm like, I just lost us the Super Bowl.
Wow.
I gave them a chance to get the ball back, and we're only up by 3, and we needed that drive to finish, right? There's a lot of games that you're lucky enough in your life, and it's hard to explain to people that have never played sports, but like, momentum is palpable. Like, you can taste it, you can feel it, you can smell it in a game. And that was one of those games where it never happened. Like, nobody was getting this lead. Nobody was pushing over the top. Nobody was in a great comfort place. And we got into that drive and we said, hey, we make this drive. We put it away. And I had stopped that drive, and I felt like it was just on me. And, whether that's right or wrong, I was wearing that, walking in that huddle, and my guys calmed me down. They said, hey, we're going to go. Let's go. I knew the play call coming up. I knew it was a good route. I knew it was a good pass protection for what we were facing. And we made a big play. And for me, it was like, it was like an elephant off the chest, because I was like, okay, we can extend this. We can still win this.
And 3rd and 10.
And I still went to the sideline after that, scared.
3rd and 10. I mean, that's tough to ask anybody to pick up, but Rodgers is just such a stud. I want to talk to you about your former quarterback in a second, Daryn Colledge, with us, one of the best offensive linemen here at Boise State ever, and a Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl 45. Now, this is the Super Bowl you won, and I know you won it with Green Bay, and I don't want to disrespect any other franchise, but I do think it's a little extra special when the Packers win a Super Bowl. Titletown, Lambeau Field, the first 2, they don't have an owner. The community owns the team. Daryn, what's it like winning a Super Bowl with them, the Packers?
It's extremely special. I think it's one of those things, you're one of the most storied franchises to ever play the game. And I know Dallas is America's team and the whole 9 yards, but Green Bay is the people's team. And you speak for yourself. The fans own it, the stock, all that stuff. It's just different, right? It's the one pro team that feels like you're playing at a college again, where everybody's invested, where right, wrong, or indifferent. It's a extremely hard place to play in, because the media only covers you. You're the only thing in town. You're going to be front page news every day, good and bad. And fans are going to stop you at the gas station and let you know how you played. But when you get to bring something back like that to them and put your name up there on a list of amazing men to come before you and Hall of Famers and bring that title home, it's crazy. It's something special. And not everybody gets that gift. Not everybody gets that opportunity to play for that storied franchise, but to play for that storied franchise and bring them their last title, that's special.
Daryn Colledge, how'd you celebrate the Super Bowl that night?
I think I was asleep. I think Bret Michaels was actually playing a concert. No kidding.
Nice.
I think I remember that concert for about an hour and a half, but I literally had blocked the beard for like 2.5 hours, and I wanted to go to bed. I went to bed at like 10:30 and fell asleep in my hotel room and was ready to get on the plane and go home the next day. A bunch of guys went out and partied and had a great time and much deserved. But as an offensive lineman who played, probably somewhere between 60 and 75 plays, I was like, all right, I'm ready to go to sleep. I'd love to tell you some crazy NFL story, and some media mogul or some rap star showed up and we had an awesome party, and that was not me. I think I caught the end of an episode of Golden Girls and I passed out.
And Daryn Colledge with us. Daryn, you showed up in 2006. You were an instant starter. Aaron Rodgers got there in 2005. You guys are the same age. grew up together in the NFL. You were a starter, and then you saw him get the gig in 2008. You guys won it his third year as the full-time starter. You saw Aaron Rodgers grow from backup to the best quarterback on planet Earth at that time. What was that like, going through the battles and everything of being an NFL player with, from a lineman and a quarterback's relationship that's always very special? What do you have to tell us about what that was like, just kind of growing up in the league and winning a title with Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback?
Well, I'll start with the asterisks and the caveat. Like, I knew Aaron roughly $200 million ago. So who he is today is maybe not the same guy I knew.
Okay.
But I was super blessed. Obviously came in and played with Brett Favre and got to see what excellence looked like and what a Hall of Famer looked like. And then got to come up with a guy that was my age, going through my same situation and my same problems and growing up in the NFL, and watched the dude who worked every single day like he needed to be the guy and endeared the men around him to be the player he was. And he brought everybody up in the room. He was one of the smartest guys on the field every single time he played. He was one of the hardest working guys. And, I think a lot of people got to see that a little bit this year, obviously with the Hard Knocks campaign. There's a lot of, whatever you feel about Aaron Rodgers, whatever side of the fence you fall on, you got to see on Hard Knocks what the men in the locker room think of a guy like that.
Totally.
And that was the dude I played with. I got to know him on the base level, got to eat meals with him, got to have laughs with him, got to grow up, got to lose with him, and got to win with him. And there's very few men in this world that I tell you that I'd run through a brick wall for. But when I played with Aaron Rodgers, if he would have asked for it, I would have done anything he needed. Would love to play with him my whole career. Wasn't in the cards. Obviously went a different direction, but one of the guys I truly respected in the NFL and enjoyed spending time with. But we have obviously gone our separate ways, and he's made another $200 million, and I work at Boise State. So you work that out.
Daryn Colledge is not Aaron Rodgers. He's the anti-Aaron Rodgers, one of the most humbled man I've ever known. So it's not like you go around telling everybody all the time that you're a Super Bowl champion, but I would imagine there's that one occasion a year, maybe two, maybe some recruiting episodes at Boise State. When do you bust out, I'm a Super Bowl champion? How often do you flash that ring?
You know what? It gets told about me a lot more than I tell it, just because I think it's awkward conversation to bring it out. I think the ring kind of makes you look like a certain person if you wear it out. It's not exactly a conversation piece at the bar. But I bring it to, anytime I have a charity event or anytime I get to work with kids, I try to bring it out and make sure they have the opportunity and pass it around, let everybody wear it and be a part of it, because it's something special. And, it's not just mine. As much as everybody wants to say it and I won it and I was there and all that kind of things, it took 22 other men and, another 26 behind them to get that done, and a whole lot of coaches and a whole lot of fans to support that program. And I think it's, something that belongs to the fans and something that belongs to, the NFL family in general. So I try to bring it out whenever I can for special events, but you're not going to see me pulled up to the James anytime soon, sitting at the bar wearing my ring.
And how does Daryn Colledge take in the Super Bowl these days? Because I know you like to get out and hunt and do all kinds of crazy stuff, and you're an outdoorsman, you're busy. You don't spend a lot of time on your couch, but maybe Super Bowl Sunday's a little bit different?
Well, you know what? Actually, traditionally, every year I've actually traveled for a guy's ski trip for the Super Bowl weekend, and we skied, and we've ended up at a bar and got to enjoy the game and had a whole lot of fun. This year, our ski trip got canceled due to rain and all this weather. So this will be the first year I'm going to be at home on my couch with my family and my daughters, enjoying the game with some friends in a long, long time. And surprisingly, I'm actually looking forward to it. So I'm sad no Broncos in the game, but I've got a few friends that are fans of these two teams. And, I think everybody wants to see if Taylor Swift can win a Super Bowl in her first year.
DC, who you got, man? KC or San Francisco? Any buddies, any former coaches still with these teams? You guys are all related.
I've got no real ties to these teams anymore. I used to have a fullback on Kansas City, so when they won their first, I was obviously rooting for them. I always give the nod to anybody that's been there before. They know what it takes. They know what the challenges are. They know what to expect. But I look at the 49ers, and I'm looking at a quarterback that everybody's kind of questioning and everybody's looking back at and saying maybe he's not the right guy. He's just a game manager. And I think they're a threat to do something pretty special. So I think Vegas has got him at 1.5 right now. And I'm probably going to be rolling with San Francisco this weekend for the win. I'm not rooting for anybody. I could care less, but if I was legally allowed to bet on it, which I'm not, I'd probably be a 49er fan this weekend.
All right. He's got the Niners. Daryn Colledge, appreciate you sharing those memories with us, and always fun bringing you on. Enjoy the game this week, man.
For you guys, anytime. You guys enjoy the game. Have a great week, and go Broncos. How about that?
Nice.
What a great guy. Again, one of the best linemen in Boise State history.
Yep.
Daryn Colledge won a Super Bowl ring with Aaron Rodgers, and they were just kids figuring out the league. Those stories must be awesome. And I like how he's like, hey, that was $200 million ago. It's like apparently Aaron Rodgers might not be the same cat. I don't know, according to Daryn Colledge. I thought that was interesting, Prater.
He certainly has changed a little bit. Guess what, guys? We're going to do this all again tomorrow. Mike Upati, former Vandal legend, still living here in the Treasure Valley. And, he went to a Super Bowl as well.
Yeah.
And we're going to do this. We're going to continue this every day this week. And tomorrow we're going to talk about him and his Super Bowl memories. That one's going to be fun too, guys. So check us out tomorrow. Mike Upati from the Idaho Vandals. We got more Vandals and Broncos coming up later on this week.
Yeah, he's got a different experience than Daryn Colledge. That's going to be awesome with Big Mike tomorrow. Win tickets to the VIP night at the Boise Golf Show. How do you do it? Well, right now, you text the word golf to 208-424-9300. JP, hook some folks up with VIP tickets to the Boise Golf Show. Prater and myself, we will be broadcasting IST from Expo, Idaho at the Boise Golf Show on Thursday. Until then, who you got? 208-424-9300. Why is San Francisco favored? Hey, Bang Bang Niner Gang, where are you? Give us a call. Prater on the Ball Game.
From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Studios.